People with high foundations usually have three souls: the heavenly soul, the earthly soul, and the human soul. The essence of soul is an energy cluster, and the three souls can be converged or separated. One of the three souls, which often stays in the heaven, is called heavenly soul. One of the three souls, which never leaves the physical body, is called human soul. One of the three souls running between the heavenly soul and the human soul is called earthly soul. The ordinary people also have three souls and 7 spirits. Asifu won't explain it in detail today, as it is not the key point. Asifu would like to briefly discourse on the convergence of the three souls, the oneness of heaven, earth, and man, which is inconceivable. You are an integral whole only after you have achieved the oneness of heaven, earth, and man. Most of cultivators with good cultivation and high foundations cannot achieve the oneness of heaven, earth, and man. They only have the human soul and earthly soul in their body, and it would be quite extraordinary if they can receive channeled information from the heavenly soul. It is very dangerous if one thinks he or she is really somebody when he or she gets a little telepathy. Channeling transmit telepathic response, or characters, or images, or sound, or body feeling. The focal point and difficulty in cultivation is the human soul. The most intractable issue in cultivation is that of the human soul, for the human soul attaches to the flesh body and firmly believes that the physical body of 5 aggregates is the self-ego attachment. Ego attachment is the root of all problems. Some human souls are very fierce and have heavy bad habits, and the heavenly souls cannot converge with them. Originally, the three souls of heaven, earth, and human are similar to one energy cluster transforms into 3 souls. They are essentially one, they are one and non-duality, they are one and not 3 substances. However, the human soul cannot accept the heavenly soul and cannot harmonize with the heavenly soul in the same tune. Sometimes, the personality and bad habits of some human souls are terrible. The human soul might harm the heavenly soul and the earthly soul. If the human soul creates negative karma and becomes depraved, then the heavenly soul and the earthly soul will be implicated and subjected to all kinds of sufferings. Your physical body creates negative karma, but your spiritual body receives the retribution. Your right hand killed a person, but the other parts of your body did not. However, the right hand is not the only part to be punished. The earthly soul gets more anxious than the human soul. The heavenly soul becomes more anxious than the earthly soul. Many of the human souls are not anxious at all because of ignorance. Some disciple likes to say one sentence, take ignorance as personality. Asifu. When Asifu communicated with a cultivator, he said a very straightforward words, and Asifu thinks it is very true. He said that the heavenly soul and earthly soul hated the human soul very much. But the human soul is still indulged in the 5 desires and the 6 external objects and creates negative karma endlessly. Asifu. There is a saying in Taoism, if one person realizes the way, his chickens and dogs will ascend to heavens. Asifu wants to tell everyone that once the human soul degenerates, the 3 souls will get trapped because of it. Even though your heavenly soul in heavenly realm is the great golden immortal, and has superior position, if your human soul, who is reincarnated into the human world, creates heavy negative karma, then when the day of retribution comes, the deity position of heavenly soul will be deprived and you will receive the retribution in accordance with the karma you've created. There have been a lot of such precedents. This is one of the main reasons why your heavenly soul and earthly soul become anxious. This is one of the main reasons why your invisible master and protective deities get anxious. This is one of the main reasons why your heart always becomes anxious without rhyme or reason. The flesh body, the human soul, somehow cannot step onto the right way, cannot get to the position, and lost a lot of opportunities in vain. Instead, it is still creating negative karma. How could they stop from worrying? The human soul is lost, but they aren't. It is because of its ignorance that the human soul is not anxious. The great returning is that big waves sweep away the sand for gold. Some are crying, some are smiling, some are making noises while some are making trouble. Well, the colorful world in sight has covered the eyes of some people. The cardinal vices in sight have captured the hearts of some people. Dear followers, aren't the warnings and reminders you've received enough? Isn't the illness serious enough? Isn't the uneasiness severe enough? Aren't the disasters destructive enough? Nothing goes well. Isn't the scale of it big enough? Aren't the attunements in dreams frequent enough? Aren't the continuous nightmares terrified enough? Isn't the strength of the misfortunes in marriage strong enough? Isn't the strength of not gaining what you seek strong enough? Isn't the strength of the evil goblins scaring you strong enough? And so on. The heavenly soul, earthly soul, invisible master, and guardians try all means to push you onto the right way of cultivation. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, invisible predestined friends, try all means to lead you onto the right way of cultivation. Asafo and your kind predestined friends in the world help you by all means and try to push you onto the right way of cultivation. We've tried our best, but you are still asking, have you given me warnings? What other warnings do you still need? Or maybe you are much too insensitive. Or maybe you are too deeply indulged. Or maybe you are really unrepentant. Asafo. Well, Asafo watched that the celestial beings becoming depraved were like cooking dumplings. They were all implicated by their reincarnated human souls. Well, speak plausibly. Very much plausibly. The reincarnated human soul of the celestial being said, I want to lead a normal life. I want house, car, status, money, children, wife, husband. I want to enjoy everything in the world. I want to have everything that others have. Asafo would like to remind you as well, other people will sink into the hell, so will you. Asafo. Thinking of these issues, Asafo remembered the episode in A Chinese Odyssey. When Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva revealed Ji Zunbeo that he was the reincarnation of Monkey King, he said, "You got the wrong person." Well, Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva would have gone so far as to get the wrong person. Asafo thinks about his experience of guiding and instructing people, and Asafo has also met such a Ji Zunbeo. These Ji Zunbeos said to Asafo, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have got the wrong person. Asafo said, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas won't identify the wrong person. Well, some Ji Zunbeos even told Asafo, Could you please tell Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to allow me to be immortal? On hearing this, his or her heavenly soul and earthly soul were foaming with rage and stomping their feet. Yet you should know that cultivation is the accumulation of many lifetimes and eons. Becoming a being in the heavenly realm is already very hard, which demands numerous merits and virtues. Yet those who have it don't know to cherish it. Asapho. Well, some people said that Asapho was too compassionate and made his teachings easily available, however, the followers didn't treasure them instead. Asapho. It is so true. Asapho is also in dilemma and worries that you might miss the opportunity. If Asapho doesn't give any instruction and asks you to comprehend them yourself, you would end up in a confused state. If instructional teachings are given, you will not cherish them and just turn a deaf ear. After hearing it, you go back home and stay as the same person as usual, and cannot practice in accordance with the teachings. Asapho. Again, Asapho makes it clear that there is a bottom line for the returning. It would be hard for you to ascend to the heaven if you cannot even meet the minimum standards. Let alone ascend to the highest heaven in the three realms, or jump out of the three realm, or ascend to the western land of ultimate bliss, or the Buddha source, nature ocean, or the cosmic source. The answer to this question is very old-fashioned, which is the 5 precepts. Nobody can help if you cannot hold the 5 precepts. If you cannot hold the 5 precepts, it will be useless no matter whose reincarnation you are. By the way, more words, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas once warned those people with missions, and Asapho would like to share it with you for mutual encouragement. How can you return to heaven with mission unfinished? It is far from enough for those with missions to be just a good person. It would not be enough to fulfill the golden body and proper fruition for those with missions to be just a good person. There will be no way to return successfully for those with mission to be just a good person. A general takes the military order and arrives at battlefield. If he doesn't lead the troops to fight with enemies while busy with making a fire to cook meals and claims that he is a good soldier and does a good job in cooking, what do you think the consequence would be? Well, all right, it's been a little too much today. The human soul is the counterpart of your physical body. The physical body is yang state while the human soul is yin state. The human soul is an energy cluster, not chi. Translated into English by Asapho's Teachings Translation Group. Email, ozfue@gmail.com. Website, http://www.ozfue.net. Messages from Asapho, bring bliss to all under heaven and rescue all beings. 6989 31-16. Cosmic Center Angels.